additional U.S. Air Force aircraft arrived in Europe and the Middle East today. In fact, U.S. Central Command has announced the deployment of the 354th Fighter Squadron and their A-10C Thunderbolt IIs in the command's area of responsibility to support an enhanced deterrence posture. A second squadron of A-10s has been deployed to support the United States' increased deterrence posture, while the BTF appears to be pre-planned and unrelated to recent events. The only additional information provided was that the 354th FS joined A-10s from the 75th Fighter Squadron already in the region, which deployed to Al Dhafra Air Base, United Arab Emirates, in late March 2023. Also today, two B-1B Lancer bombers from Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, have been deployed to RAF Fairford as part of the new bomber task force. The two bombers were flying with the call signs MOCHA41 and MOCHA42 and were heard in radio contact with Scottish air traffic controllers returning from an unspecified mission over the Scandinavian region. It appears that, as was the case during the last deployment in May, the two bones, as the B-1 is known in the pilot community, entered European territory by first integrating with allies and partners and then landing at RAF Fairford at the end of a long-term mission. More than 100 airmen are deploying to support B-1s from Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, the first bomber task force rotation in fiscal year 2024. U.S. Air Forces Europe stressed in a release that the deployment has been planned for a long time and has been in the planning since long. USAFE routinely hosts and supports a variety of U.S. Air Force aircraft and units for training aligned with U.S. European command objectives, the statement said. However, the arrival of the bombers and their missions over the next few months will likely be closely watched. As Russia's invasion of Ukraine drags on, concerns are growing that the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza could spread to other groups and countries in the Middle East. B-1s from a previous bomber task force deployment fired advanced munitions in a live fire exercise in June, using ranges in Jordan and Saudi Arabia as part of a joint exercise involving Israel. In the same deployment, Russian fighter jets intercepted a B-1 in the Baltic Sea region. The task force's bombers landed in Sweden for the first time and joined Sweden's major air exercise in the Arctic. Tensions have only increased since then. After the Hamas attack, several USAF fighter squadrons were deployed to the Middle East in an effort to deter Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant group, and Iran from expanding the conflict while showing strong support for Israel. Separately, the Ukraine Defense Contact Group also met this week to discuss the country's long-term air defense, even as questions remain over the U.S. ability to continue providing assistance. Amid all this, the deployment of the B-1 Lancers provides U.S. and NATO leaders with a strategic option to reassure allies and partners, while deterring potential enemy aggression across Europe and around the world, according to the USAFE release. Officials praised the bomber task force as a flexible way for the Air Force to reassure allies and project air power around the world. It seems like everyone wants to have bombers in their area. The strategic deployment of U.S. Air Force assets, both fighters and bombers, underscores the evolving geopolitical landscape and the need to maintain a strong and flexible military presence in key regions. U.S. Central Command decision to deploy the 354th Fighter Squadron and A-10C Thunderbolt IIs is an indication of commitment to enhancing deterrence capabilities and ensuring regional stability. When the 354th Fighter Squadron joined the 75th Fighter Squadron already in the region, the combined strength of these units significantly increased the air capabilities available in the Middle East. The A-10C Thunderbolt II is a powerful ground attack aircraft known for its close air support capabilities, which will be critical in a variety of operational scenarios. At the same time, the deployment of B-1B Lancer bombers from Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, was evidence of the United States' determination to project air power on a global scale. Bone, as the B-1 bomber is affectionately known by the pilot community, has proven its versatility in a variety of exercises and operations. The fact that these aircraft fly from the United States to Europe and are integrated with allies and partners shows the importance of international collaboration and the ability to respond quickly to changes in security dynamics. The ability to adapt and execute missions with precision is a testament to the proficiency of U.S. Air Force personnel and the aircraft they operate. It is worth noting that the U.S. Air Forces in Europe, in its official statement, emphasized that this deployment was carefully planned well in advance. This emphasizes the foresight and strategic readiness maintained by the military to address emerging threats and challenges. The timing of this deployment coincided with a period of heightened tension in many parts of the world. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has created uncertainty and raised concerns about the potential for widespread conflict. In the Middle East, there are growing concerns that the Israel-Hamas conflict could escalate and involve other parties,